Welcome to Free Beer Friday, powered in part by Classic of Denton.
Oh my gosh. Guys, welcome back to Free Beer Friday. I apologize. I was not here last week, but thank goodness Jake took care of us with Charlie. That was a wonderful show. I really enjoyed that. Y'all can't see it, but Jake's sitting over here. He's always super silent. Even now, he is just monitoring us. But anyway, tonight, we're back. I've got Garrett Dennington with Beer Makes Smart. Yeah, if you don't know what this is, we got to look this up. First off, URL. What is it? Where are we looking?
Well,
where do people find you?
Well, I mean, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, right?
Right on.
At Beer Make Smart. So it's all Beer Make Smart. There's no BM, SM, you know. There's
.org.
no there's no .com, there's no .net, there's no .org. But there's also no, on Twitter I'm beer_make_SM. There's no extra things you have to do. It's all Beer Make Smart. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter,
That's
YouTube.
all you have to remember. Beer Makes Smart.
Beer Make Smart.
And whatever social media you go to, that's what you'll find.
Look it up. You'll find me. And the logo is the same across the
right
board.
now. Right now. Wait, do you want to show them the logo?
Yeah. Well, the logo's on my phone, right?
There it is.
So
there it is.
somebody's texted
Right
me. It's on there. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's the simplest logo that I could come up with, because in the past, when we were doing Great American Brewery Tour, the logo was a little. It was produced. We hired an artist to do a logo, and it was one of those things where we had to get the Photoshop files and everything from this guy. And I decided when I switched over to Beer Make Smart on my own, I wanted to have a logo that was simple enough that an idiot like me in Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator could put it together and make the files that I needed. Because there were so many times in the past where somebody said with Great American Brewery Tour, we need your logo in this format. And now I'm struggling to figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
But now with Beer Make Smart, the logo is so simple that an imbecile could do it, and an imbecile has done it, and there it is. It's Beer Make Smart.
I don't believe that. I don't believe imbecile, sir. Well, so let's talk about you did Great American Brewery Tour.
That's right. Yeah.
So you got to see a lot of the world of beer through that, right? Do you want to explain?
We did. Yeah. So the story of how Beer Make Smart came about was in 2014, a buddy and I, Jesse Apple, we got together, and we were just starting to get into craft beer, and we knew that we wanted to go to a particular brewery in a particular state, and we wanted to try their beer. And that was New Glarus Brewing in New Glarus, Wisconsin, just about 20 miles outside of Madison. And the whole idea was to take a road trip, rent a car, drive up to Wisconsin, and then drive back down. If we didn't stop anywhere else, we wanted to get to New Glarus. And we went to New Glarus, and we came back, and we stopped at breweries along the way in 2014. And then we did that again in 2015, but we went out east this time to Charleston, South Carolina, and came back. We took an extra guy with us, Alex. And then in 2016, we did it all over again, but we went west this time to Colorado and New Mexico and West Texas, and we took another guy with us. So we kept getting more people, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. And then this last year, it was just me on my own doing some brewery tours around North Texas. But you know, life gets in the way, life happens, things happen, and I decided that it was probably best for me to start out on my own and do Beer Make Smart all on my own. And I kind of felt pigeonholed into the fact that with Great American Brewery Tour, we were just talking about breweries. We were just drinking beer. We were just doing the simple, how did this beer get made? How did you come up with the idea? Let's go to a brewery. Let's drink some beer. And along the way, we had so many different stories, whether it be in the car or whether it be at a brewery or whether it be at a bottle shop or a tap room, where we would talk to people and they would tell us stories about the beer they were drinking, but then the things they were into. I remember on the second year of the tour, for example, we stopped at a grocery store in Memphis, Tennessee. Mm-hmm. Okay. And a girl that worked there was making earrings out of cans. So she would take like this Founders All Day IPA can, and she would cut out the Founders logo out of the can and make earrings out of them. And she called them beer rings. You can find these around places, even in Texas, North Texas.
Keep an eye out for beer rings.
It's a crafty kind of thing that people do with beer cans sometimes. Mm-hmm. And they make earrings out of these. And she was doing that. She was selling them. And I thought that was an interesting story, that this girl who was the beer manager at a grocery store in Memphis, Tennessee, was making earrings out of beer cans. But that's not something that Great American Brewery Tour is about, because we're about beer.
The beer and the brewery and what's going on there.
But that's an artist type of thing. And I'm a photographer. I do some wood burnings. I do some photo-to-wood transfers. I was just in the bathroom here at the visitor center, and they have some photo transfers on the wood in there. And I'm thinking, oh, that's cool. I do that too. But there's so many different artist type things that happen within the beer community that we were not necessarily ignoring, but there wasn't a platform for that with Great American Brewery Tour. So Beer Make Smart, I'm trying to incorporate that into Beer Make Smart. So I'm still doing everything that I did with Great American Brewery Tour, the road trips, the bottle shares, the brewery tour visits, the bottle shops, talking to people.
These beer adventures.
Exactly.
Like we get to live vicariously through you on these adventures.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. All right. So
and I'm still doing that. That's the beer side. The make side is all the people who are making earrings out of beer cans. The other thing that we did when we went to breweries and we went to bottle shops and went to tap rooms, there was art on the wall. There's photography. There's big murals.
Which, yeah.
I mean, if you come into the Denton, if you come to the visitor center, here it is, right?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
But yeah, every brewery has that creative aspect.
They have something,
to it.
and it's not like they ordered it off of IKEA.com and put it on the wall. There's somebody at the brewery who made it, or there's somebody in the community who made it. At the Bearded Monk, you guys have the big mural outside that.
Oh
that
yeah,
was done, right?
That Warren did, yeah,
exactly.
Well, so the same aspect. Sanford is an artist both in music and in
the beer industry,
in imagery and painting, and yeah,
the whole gamut. And most people, I find, the artists aren't necessarily pigeonholed into one area either. And so I wanted to explore that a little bit more because like I said, I'm into photography. I like to talk to people about photography, but then I'm also, I don't know, my wife tells me, like, you're trying to be woke, like you've heard this term, like woke, right? You got to be woke bays,
I want evidence of
things
this.
like that.
You got to define this now. Well, if not for them, you got to define it for me.
If you're socially aware, if you're in tune, for men in particular, this day and age in this environment, if you're in tune with your feminine side, if you are a leader in social issues and you're aware of other people's feelings and how they're feeling about certain social issues and things like that, you're woke, right?
Okay, right on.
I hope I said that right. I'm sure somebody will correct me if I didn't. But
by the way, you can comment here if you want to correct Garrett.
Yeah, exactly. So the idea that, talking to people more about social issues, whether it be a charity that they're involved with, a life experience that they've had, a job that they have, things that they've done in their lives that have enriched other people around them. I'm also a big advocate of learning new things, learning from people. So if you have a life experience that I can learn from, that's fantastic. I want to talk to you about your story. I want to hear your things. I'm good friends with Seth Morgan. He's been on the show before.
Yeah.
Over
Seth,
at
Denton County Brewing Company. Yeah.
Right, exactly. There's cameras over there.
I'm
talking to you.
Right
I have to talk to the camera.
You can if you want to. It's
either
okay.
way. Like he co-founded a charity called Orant that goes over to Africa. They do things with water wells and things like that. And I've talked to him about that, and hopefully I'll get involved with that a little bit in the future. But to make you a little bit smarter about the world that's happening around you. So I want to incorporate the beer side of things that we talked about, the art,
the creation,
how people make things, right? Make. And then to get a little bit smarter in the world, beer, make, smart.
This is so simple.
It is. And when I break it down like that, hopefully it makes a little bit more sense. The beer makes smart. But it also sounds like somebody who's been drinking all day since 11 a.m. I won't name names. Who's been drinking since 11 a.m. It's ridiculous.
It's a great day. Come on. It's Friday, man.
But it sounds like somebody who might already be a little bit tipsy saying,
beer makes smart.
I'm cool. Beer makes smart, man. I'm cool. I can be on your trivia team.
I like this. There's still some irreverence to all of this as well.
Exactly.
See, I like this. I like this a lot.
It's whimsical. It's, people think that beer makes them smarter, and beer does not make you smarter, but beer makes smart will make you smarter.
Oh, nice. I like that.
How do you
T-shirts.
drink with these?
You gotta move it off to the side a little bit.
Okay.
Come on, man. Beer makes smart.
Cans make smart. That's the littlest sip I could take.
I'm very impressed. You guys aren't hearing that slurping, right? Oh, that is zoomed in on you, isn't it?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a face for radio right there. I'll tell you.
So where? People are going to get to watch this too. Wait, are you talking about me or about you?
Well, that's on you. There's a face for radio. I think we're all faces for radios.
Yeah, Mom's the only one that loves.
Have you heard that phrase, face for radio?
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. I like those little
Bag
idioms.
of Red Hot Nickels.
I like those things in conversation where these phrases come from. I mean,
well, you're such an inquisitive person. I've seen that from you since we've known each other.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. You always delve into stuff. And that this is getting too weird.
Well,
I'm sorry, guys.
I like for people to explain themselves, right? If you have an opinion about something, well, where does that opinion come from? Why do you feel that way? Why what has happened in your life that has led you to that point to have that opinion about something?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be a huge social issue, or why do you like the color black more than you like the color purple? Like, why?
Okay.
You know, those
so
kind of
wait,
things.
these are standard questions that come up?
But
Wait.
but it's also happened. I mean, we do trivia every Monday night at Denton County Brewing. Where's good Tex-Mex in Denton?
Yeah, freaking Mark Atkinson. He could just comment here if he wanted to.
He could.
I'm not even going to answer
all
you, Mark.
about. I feel like when like John Hamm goes on like the Tonight Show and he talks about whiskey or something, or Blake Shelton, for example, is a better example. When he goes on the Tonight Show and talks about whiskey, and then he gets a case of whiskey sent to him.
Oh,
right.
Work this. Work it.
So I think La Milpa is probably the best Tex-Mex you can probably get.
You hear that, La Milpa?
In Denton.
Yeah.
But Chewy's is great. I mean, there are so many different places. Somebody in my neighborhood today asked,
Big
where can you
Knife
get
is
the
right
best?
behind me.
I know, Big Knife is right over there. Big Knife is fantastic.
Sabrosita.
They're all good.
Oh. You can't. Man, you throw a stone.
Where's
you're gonna eat
the better question is,
deliciousness.
where's the worst Mexican
fair
food
enough.
in Denton? That's the easier question because
I don't know. I feel like it's on like Fifth Avenue in New York.
Yeah.
I did. Okay, this is weird. Wow, I'm gonna
We
take
got
this
off the rails
way
here
off
already.
topic. All right, I met a guy in Plano that was his company made sauces that you
Okay.
find them at Whole Foods, that kind of thing. And he was in New York, and he went to a Tex-Mex restaurant, a Mexican Texas feel restaurant in
Okay.
New York, run by an Iranian guy. And he said, I didn't order anything when the salsa came out with the chips, and it was ketchup with onions and peppers in it. Like, that's such a shame.
that's
Such a shame.
that's a travesty. That's a
So anyway,
travesty.
back to you. I am sorry to frighten you people with ketchup and peppers and onions.
my specialty is getting off onto tangents and getting off topic, but I
Well,
can
I
usually
feel like
bring
even-
people back around.
Even your trips do that. Because we've talked
we
about
do.
these journeys you've taken, and it's you go for one brewery, and then you say, hey, where should I go next? And you end up doing these little spiked off trips.
Yeah, well, I mean,
And
when we were doing the
meet
tour,
all these people and learn all of this stuff.
yeah, when we were doing the tour, what we would do is we would plan out the first couple of days, and then when we got to the first brewery, we would ask them, well, where should we go from here? And we had a plan, but usually that plan got thrown out the window because people in the area knew a little bit better. I mean, somebody from Chicago could plan to come to Denton and go to certain places, but when they end up at the Bearded Monk and they say, well, now we're here, where do you say we should go?
Oh, yeah, and then we start, okay, now it's time to
Well, it's like somebody
go
saying,
weird and strange and cultural.
it's like somebody
and-
saying, I'm going to go to North Texas and eat at Chewy's, but then they show up and they go, well, where should I get the best Tex-Mex? That's why somebody's texting you saying, where should I get the best Tex-Mex?
Fair enough.
Because they have a plan in mind, and we had a plan in mind when we went on the trips. And that plan would always get thrown out the window to go to a place that they told us to go to. And sometimes that place turned out fantastic, and sometimes it didn't, and sometimes it was awesome, and sometimes it was off the beaten road. And, we knew we had signposts that we had to hit along the way. And, it was fun. But, yeah, things get off the rails, but you tend to steer yourself back on track, which is great.
Well, so what can we expect from Beer Make Smart here in the near future?
Well, I think what I've got in the pipeline are interviews with people who have either opened up growler fill stations, restaurants. There's a place that just opened in Little Elm that was fantastic. They're called 3 Flights Up Taps and Tacos. Have you heard of them?
Right on.
Have you heard of this place?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know the story behind 3 Flights Up? This is going to be like turned into a big.
I
ad
have
for 3
not
Flights Up.
watched the episode of Beer Make Smart, so I don't know the story.
Well, it's not
No.
posted yet. I know they're going to be having a grand opening. They haven't had their grand opening yet. I was kind of holding off on the grand opening to post the video. But Taz, the guy who started 3 Flights Up, he's a chef, Indian community, great Indian food. Taz, fantastic. I met him at a bottle share with Dallas Beer Squad.
Oh,
At-
hey, shout out to those guys.
Exactly. At, great, now the brewery escapes my mind. The place in Farmers Branch, Three Nations. I met him at 3 Nations. And
Gavin has also been on here, by the way.
fantastic.
So go back and watch that episode. You can learn about 3 Nations.
So Taz brought some of his food with him to this bottle share, and everybody, within minutes it was gone. And he's saying, in a couple months we're going to do this, and we're going to open up by the end of the year. And the time frame came around. They didn't open up. Everybody was kind of worried. What's happening with 3 flights up? Well, come to find out, Taz got cancer. And Taz got cancer in, I don't know exactly where, but basically they had to take out half of his tongue. They had to do all this stuff. He's a chef, and losing half of your tongue is not what you want to happen.
Yeah.
And his daughter came in. She took over the place, her and her husband, opened it up, got it up and running, worked with her dad on creating the sauces and stuff. They hired a chef. It's all in the interview that I did with Sana. So it's going to be posted. We're
going to have to watch this, guys.
It's a fantastic story. He is in treatment for everything. The place is opened up. The food is fantastic. They've got tacos. They've got beer. I mean, it's amazing to go there. And it's those types of stories that I want to tell. You go to a place and you get a 32-ounce growler filled up, and then you leave. You don't hear the story of the struggles that it took to get that place open. I'm sure you've got stories on the Bearded Monk, how it got open. And
yeah, everybody has their story.
They do.
Yeah.
And it's those types of stories. I mean, you could go in there and you could order tacos, you could order beer, you could eat there, you could leave and never know the story. But to hear the fact that the food that you're eating was created by a guy who's a chef who has lost has lost his ability to taste his own food, which is amazing, his food. And it's those types of stories that I want to tell with Beer Makes Smart, because that makes you smarter when you go to that place. You appreciate the fact now that you're eating food from a guy,
this gift you've been given,
who is a huge craft beer fan, by the way. I mean, Taz is probably one of the best craft beer people that I know in terms of his love for craft beer. But he can't drink craft beer anymore. He can drink it, but he probably can't taste it. And
it's just not the same.
It's those types of stories. But the artists and things too. I don't want to just talk to local artists, but I traveled to California over the Thanksgiving holiday and talked to some people out in California too. My uncle, his fiance, he is an artist as well. So, talking to different artists and what they do. And for example, my uncle's fiance got involved in art when he was younger. He's in his 60s now, or close to 60 probably. But Mitchell has gone through so many different artists, things. He used to do ceramics, and then he did murals, and then he did paintings.
So
and
his medium
stuff.
keeps changing.
Exactly.
As he goes.
And talking to guys like that,
or,
and I'm like that too. I'll do, paintings years ago, wood burnings, photography, and I think the only thing in my life that stayed consistent is the photography. And so, I always get distracted with things, and I want to do this. Video editing is an art form as well. So, it's those types of stories I want to tell. So, with Beer Make Smart, hopefully I can bring a little bit more of that to the forefront and tell those stories, and hopefully in an engaging way where people want to watch them.
Well, and I think probably as of right now, people are going to have to hunt down the story on Taz and what's going on with 3 Flights Up. These are epic stories.
And there's people who know it. But
you were also a really good storyteller. And even with the works that...
Go on.
Oh, hey, let me pander. No, with the photography you did. I've never really seen your video work, though. Like, we've talked about a couple of things, and we've watched a couple of short things, but I've never seen anything extensive. But with your photography, it was really epic.
And that's the problem. I went to school at the Art Institute of Dallas, here in Dallas, okay? I graduated high school in 99. I went to the Art Institute of Dallas in 2000, 2001, and then worked in television in Oklahoma City for 7 years. And I had, this whole background of shooting video and doing all this stuff and creating stuff and editing videos. And from like 2005 till now, I haven't really done anything in the video world, and it's almost like I'm relearning how to do everything.
Just getting back into it.
Exactly. And I mean, the basics are there. I mean, I taught people with my current job in the past how to edit video and what to do with the video. But I think the phrase is those who can't do teach, right? Is that what they say? That's what they say.
That's so cliche, though. Come on, man.
And, I got into that habit where I was in that role, I guess, where I was teaching people how to edit stuff. But I wasn't doing any editing.
Without any practice.
I can tell you what buttons to push, but when you set me down in front of it, it's like, oh man, what do I do here? And it's like muscle memory that I have to reflex and get back into it. So yeah, you haven't seen a whole lot of video stuff from me, and it'll get better. And I have to get past that fear of failure. And we talked earlier about my biggest problem right now is procrastination. I've got stuff that I've shot.
Yep.
And I have to edit it. But it's a lot easier for me because for the past 10 years, all I've been doing in my free time is watching television and, taking pictures and doing this stuff. My brain has to get back into that mode of you have to sit down for 2 hours and edit this thing or it's not going to get done. Right.
Well, I mean, is your wife an inspiration in this as well?
Well, she is, of course. Well, of course, because I'm with her all the time and we both work from home. And she is heavily involved in social media with what she does. And so she has sort of been my guiding light in terms of how to make my social media better. And I have a pretty big presence on social media. I mean, I post to Instagram, I think, pretty consistently. There's been times where it's been a couple days between posts. But posting to social media and getting involved and making sure that is upkept, how to engage with the audience, how to get likes, how to get follows, how to get... things like that. YouTube is throwing me for a loop, though, because it's all about subscribers on YouTube. I think I've got like 6 subscribers on YouTube. It's ridiculous.
I don't understand. Jake runs that show, man. I don't understand that one bit.
But Tristan, my wife, who's the Polished Posy, by the way, on Instagram, she's amazing.
Hey, shout out.
And thepolishedposy.com. S-Y, P-O-S-Y, not P-O-S-E-Y, P-S-Y.
Okay.
She consistently tells me, well, here's what you have to do to get your likes up. Here's what you have to do to get your subscriptions up. Here's what, this is the trends. This is what's happening. And so, yeah, she's been influential in helping me out with that for sure.
Right on.
And I do all the photography for her, well, the big photography for her blog and everything like that. I mean, she does things with her cell phone occasionally, but for most part, if you see her.
For the really nice stuff, it's yours.
Exactly. If you see her, it's me.
Nice.
And so, yes, I mean, she's been influential in terms of helping me out with that and keeping the photography muscle in tune.
Nice.
Has been a big help.
Too. Keeping the visual going.
Yeah, that's her right there.
What? Where?
Oh, you pulled her up. Yeah. Is that on the thing?
Oh, hey. All right.
Yeah, she posted. She does things. Yeah, there she is.
So wait a second. Have we ever met, by the way? Have I ever met her?
Maybe met her once, maybe? I don't know. She's been to the Bearded Monk once or twice.
I was really excited. Like, I was looking out the windows. And you guys, I'm sorry, none of y'all are married to this guy, right?
No.
Okay, yeah. So
that guy might be. Wait, no, that's not
you
him.
could be.
No.
You could be his wife.
No, I'll take that food, though. What
wait,
do you got in that box?
Wait. Oh, yeah. Y'all have food and stuff, too.
But yeah, but that's Tristan. So that's the
But
the website, yeah, that's my photography.
Oh, that's her. I looked off out the windows like, wait, where?
No, on the screen right there. That was her. So that's
cool.
the photography that I do. That's outside of our house, actually. So a lot of this stuff is outside of our house.
So, again, you are a narrative storyteller, a visual storyteller. That's why this is going to be so much fun to follow. I mean, the journeys you did already previously in the previous iteration of what you've been doing have been super enjoyable to follow.
Yeah,
but this is going to be more of an all-encompassing story now. It's not just, hey, we went to this brewery, here's the beer we had. It's going to be, here are the sights, the sounds, the smells, what get into this brewer's head story.
Right. And look beyond just the beer. But most of the times I meet with some friends once a week, typically, or we have bottle shares. We do trivia nights. There's always beer that's open once or twice a week in my life. And sitting down with people and asking, just amongst my friends, just weird questions in the conversations we get into.
Weird questions.
Well, weird questions, like for example, today we had a little bottle share this afternoon with some friends, and I think you and I talked about this a little bit earlier, where we were sort of debating how to solve poverty in the U.S., right?
Okay, yeah, that's
and worldwide.
Lofty.
I mean, that for a bottle share, that's pretty big. That's pretty big stuff. So, how to solve poverty worldwide? But then 5 minutes later, I said, how come when you watch a movie that takes place 500 years in the future, they're still listening to music from today, right? It's those kind of questions. So, I watched Alien Covenant on a plane ride one time, and they put their radio on. They turn on their radio, and they're like, "Oh man, I love this song by Sam Cooke," and it's like, why not music from 2378? Like, what happened to that music?
Right.
why are you listening to music from 1962 when you could be listening to music from 2247, right? Like, there's got to be music from the 60s till 500 years in the future that is worth listening to. Or how do you solve world poverty?
I like
so
this.
we have these conversations at our
Deep
bottle share.
and irreverent across the board.
And it's nice when you can have a bottle share that's just a few people gathered around a table, as opposed to a bottle share when there's like 30 people, and you can't really have those conversations.
Yeah. You can't get in depth on, for example,
exactly
science fiction movie music.
Precisely. Or
world poverty.
Or if you had to pee your pants, could you pee your pants? That's for Stephen Billingsley. I don't think Stephen's watching right now, but he will later.
Say this again.
So one of my favorite questions to ask people.
What is this?
One of my favorite questions to ask people is,
like, in these interviews, in like when you're hanging.
Well, just
out?
amongst my friends and bottle shares and things like that. So I mean, I want to start a podcast, and on the podcast, this is it's an icebreaker question. It's not a would you rather. A lot of people get into these would you rather questions. Okay, would you rather, eat a bunch of poop, or would you rather cut off your toe? Like those.
Both
there's no
really
stakes.
helpful, yeah.
There's no stakes. There's no stakes, and there's no stakes. But if you had to pee your pants, could you pee your pants? Do you think you could pee your pants if you could pee your pants?
That's a danger. I feel like I could.
Could you push out pee into your pants?
I think so.
This is the kind of question.
I'm also a child at heart. Is that okay?
And I don't mean like you haven't peed all day and you really have to go and you just have to let it go.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Like right now, I could go to the bathroom. If I got up and walked over there, I could go to the bathroom.
But like right now, if you didn't walk over there,
I don't think that I could. That's the thing. This is the conversation I get into people. You've trained your whole life not to pee your pants. You stopped at a particular age using the bathroom in your underwear. And now you have to unlearn everything you've ever done.
So is this the irreverent, the fun, the relaxing, but force somebody to use their mind for a minute to reason something out? Is this what you do every day?
And yeah, well, I ask my wife, is this what I do every day? Kristen will tell you, this is the kind of questions I ask her. But I think it gets people to think, because they'll almost instinctively say, yeah, I bet I could, right? But But it evolves into bigger questions, right? It sounds like almost like beer makes smart sounds like a stupid phrase until you break it down. And if I broke down that question, could you pee your pants if you had to? Well, now it revolves into, could you change your life if you had to? Could you make the decision to go a completely different direction from what you've been told in your life to make a positive impact for your future? If you could unlearn everything you've been taught in your whole life not to pee your pants, then why can't you unlearn everything you've been told in your life to make your life better? It's not just about peeing your pants. It's about changing your entire life.
I feel like I have to have this on a shirt now.
Pee your pants, change your life.
Or could you pee your pants? I mean, it could be just that simple. Could you pee your pants, and on the back, change your life?
But it's an icebreaker. It gets people thinking, and then you hit them with the hard questions, Either you hit them with the tough questions.
See, I like this. And we get to see the examples of these tough questions and the answers.
Right.
On Beer Make Smart.
Yeah, so exactly.
Are most of the videos going to be Facebook, YouTube?
They'll be posted to YouTube and then shared on Facebook, Instagram, those places. Yeah.
Okay.
On social media.
Right on. Man, this is exciting. What do we have so far up there?
Well, there's an interview with you on there already. So
awesome.
There's the exactly.
Now I feel like freaking hoity-toity.
There's not a whole lot right now because procrastination once again. But the intro video of why
that was
why Great American Brew Tour is going away and what is Beer Make Smart? What we talked about at the beginning of this whole thing. Beer is beer, make is make, smart is smart. And then there's the interview with you.
What?
Yeah, we did the 3 questions.
You've been to multiple places though. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but
we need to get you on this real fast then.
So what I started with you, and that was the first time, and I've had people approach me and say they want to do this too, is to talk to people very quickly about beers and makes and smarts. And what I did with you was, hey Ben, let's take 60 seconds to talk about a beer that you found recently. And you talked about Jester King. There was
the El Cedro.
El Cedro, yeah, because that had just been released.
El
You had it on
Cedro.
draft
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
time. And then what make are you into? So a movie you've seen, a television show, an artist, a photography, you know, what kind of make had you been into? And you talked about the artist that you guys have with the Bearded Monk, who's got his stuff for sale up there, the comic booky type stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's all on YouTube and the Instagram page. You can see it.
You go look at it. I'll just say Scott Melford.
Scott Melford, yep.
Go watch the video.
And then I asked you about something you learned recently.
And I won't answer that, but I keep playing with that too.
But you keep playing with that app.
Yeah.
So
you got to go if you want to know my last answer.
That's
you
the tease.
have to watch it. Yeah.
So I want to get more people into that mode and do those little quick interviews. Tell me about a beer. Tell me about a make. Tell me about a smart. And hopefully I can do those a little bit more often because those are quick little 5-minute things.
Oh, yeah.
To do.
That really was. That was us hanging out for just a couple of minutes.
Yeah, very
See,
quickly.
so I'm excited about this. I'm really excited about it.
Exactly.
Well, awesome. Guys, thank you for joining us for another edition of Free Beer Friday. Hey, thanks for coming in, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
And if you want to know more and if you want to follow Beer Makes Smart, just freaking search it anywhere.
Go to Instagram. Look up Beer Make Smart. Twitter, Facebook,
this.
YouTube. I'm looking for YouTube subscribers. Go to YouTube.
Go to YouTube.
I have to get 100 YouTube
let's all go to
subscribers
YouTube.
before I can change my
Oh, okay.
It's ridiculous.
All right. So we, in mass, let's go to YouTube. Let's subscribe. Let's
Beer
watch
Makes
these. And then we will force Garrett to work through his procrastination. Yes, and then we'll get more. Because, dude, you've got to have multiple episodes racked up by now.
I've got 3 or 4 things I have to edit, yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Go search Beer Makes Smart. Follow Garrett. Let's watch this happen.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been fantastic.
This has been a lot of fun, dude.
Of
All
course.
Right, let's go do some more drinking.
Of course.
And we're going back to the monk for a little bit. So if you guys want to come drink, if you want to ask him more questions, let's do it. We're going back to the Bearded Monk a block away right now.
Yeah.
And then I guess I'll see you next week. So stay warm. Don't freeze out. And see you later. Oh, and I need more beer. I ran out of beer.
Let's go get some.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out DentonRadio.com for new Denton artists and where they're playing next. While you're surfing the internet, make sure you check out our friends Classic of Denton at ClassicofDenton.com.